I'm gonna do a tiny ramble, tiny little ramble. I do want to start off saying, do you guys like this setup better? The way I was doing my light, I kept getting just some like weird stuff over in this area, so I decided to redo it. I am hoping it doesn't make things seem a little bit too dark though, but I guess we will see when everything, like I can see myself, but it's a little bit different when you go through the editing process to the end when it actually gets uploaded to YouTube, so it doesn't matter how it looks to me right now, it's when it's completed. And obviously also, if the audience thinks it's a little bit too dark, that would be an issue, right? But yeah, I just kind of wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about, why my videos have been kind of a little bit weird lately, and why they've been, mainly why they've been shorter. And I wouldn't say weird. I wouldn't say the content has been weird because, I just did the inaudible, little echoed inaudible, and then I also did the little studying one before that point, which I don't know if anyone even knew I was legitimately reading in that one. I was actually studying. Whoa. That's the only time that I've studied in like the last year. No, not completely, but I am just gonna come straight out and say I've not been doing really good health-wise. Of course, that's right when I need to scoot forward. I have not been doing good health-wise, so it has very much been reflecting my work, because despite the fact that obviously I've been looking up solutions and trying to work on thumbnails and everything like that, which haven't been great, but they've been something I'm at least trying at this point, because I was like, I feel like I know all this stuff and I didn't really know how to apply it, and I'm like, well, I'm just gonna make something and then I'll go from there, which is kind of how I made the channel. Because it feels like sometimes you get inundated with all these stylistic things you can do, and it's like, okay, but how do I actually apply that to what I'm doing specifically? If I watch a tech review channel and they're like, this is how you do a thumbnail, I'm like, okay, that's great. What does that have to do with ASMR? And I have been trying to look at other people's thumbnails as well, but you don't want to pull ideas completely from other people, because that'd be, kind of copying. Although technically ASMR as a community, we do share quite a bit, don't we? But yeah, I've not been doing it good health-wise, and I kind of want to open up a little bit, just a little bit about that. It has been brutal where I live in terms of the temperature out. So I think as I am recording this, it is currently in the teens out, and it's not super late, so Fahrenheit, in the teens Fahrenheit, I think it's 16 out Fahrenheit, 16 or 17. And again, I have fibromyalgia. I also have, right now it's phenomenon, which is basically an issue with your body's regulation of temperature. It has a lot to do with circulation as well, so I tend to try and watch that as much as I can because of my PCOS, so those things are usually very closely linked. Same thing as having issues with sugar or having insulin resistance is also kind of, co-opted into PCOS as well. It's part of it. So it's been very bad for me, pain-wise, this year, and more so than last year. Oddly enough, last winter also, though, it wasn't as brutal. It's been bitterly cold. It's not even been that snowy, it's just been bitterly cold for a very long time now. And the thing is, if it's even chilly in our house before we turn the heat on, I'm it's needles and pins in my entire body. So I've been having some issues with that, and my head has been hurting like crazy because I've not been able to get good sleep. I really am not ever able to, and I found out that's good. It could be the PTSD, it could be the fibro, it could be anything I have. I've never had good sleep in my life. I've never got good sleep in my life, but I've been getting especially bad lately, even though I've been going to bed and making sure it's within a time frame where I would get 10 hours, right? I'm not sleeping, I'm waking up a bunch, I'm not falling asleep. waking up early. So pretty much the three worst possible things all together. And when I wake up, my head has been hurting so bad. I've been having migraines on a regular basis, which I already kind of have. I get them if I don't get good sleep. I've been having them more regularly because I'm not getting good sleep. But my head has actually been hurting as well, not just like the migraine thing. It's just like, it just feels like my head's in pain the entire day. And I don't really get why. It feels like pressure, but it's not causing a migraine or a headache. It's very strange to describe. So I have been trying to record, but I have only really been able to record for short amounts of time, partially because of that, because I'm trying to find times where I feel okay enough to record, and I will start feeling bad pretty much as soon as I start recording, especially because, again, I have like baseboard heating, so we don't keep every room super warm. The room I'm in right now is not warm. I'm talking to you right now, and I'm in a sweater and sweats and very cozy socks. I'm bundled up. And this is like a thick sweater, and it's usually pretty fine during the winter, especially because we've had worse winters than other parts of the country, I think, the U.S., but, you know, we haven't had the most brutal winters. We're not talking, you know, like upstate Maine or something like that, you know, like Presque Isle, Maine, or Presque Isle. Yeah, there's two Presque Isles. There's one in Erie, and then there's one that I'm pretty sure. I have to remember. No, I know. It's Caribou, Maine. That's where I was talking about. So it's the furthest northeast that you can be in the country, in the United States. I was gonna bring out a little factoid, and I forgot the name of the city. But yeah, it's not like where, you know, the furthest possible north and east we could be, like right on a lake or like right against a coast or something like that, or the ocean. So it's not been the worst, but at the same time it's just been bitterly cold. So I've not been dealing with it very well this year, pain management wise, and that has reflected in my work, and I wanted to say that I'm sorry. It feels like I've kind of just like had obstacle after obstacle, but it just keeps making me want to work a little bit harder instead of it being something where I'm like, I'm not gonna record or post or anything. Now I've just been like, well, if I have to record only 5 minutes, that's what I'm doing. If I can only make it through 5 minutes without, you know, being in super large amount of pain, I'm gonna record it, because I'm kind of tired of it, you know what I mean? I don't like being inconsistent as a person, and I realize that I kind of have to come to terms with the fact that here and there I'm gonna have to be, because I am disabled. Like, I am not an able-bodied person. I am not neurotypical. Like, I am in constant pain. So, yeah, I kind of am sitting here like, you know, but I want to be more consistent, so it's at least something where if I have a day or two where I'm out, I have enough of a backup, and I'm even recording this. When the day I'm recording this, I'm gonna at least have a couple of videos in the bank, and I know that, and it makes me so happy because I want to be able to at least make sure there's content. When I say there's gonna be content, I want to be able to at least keep that, and if I have to record 5 or 6 videos on the one good day I have a week, that's what I'm doing, you know what I mean? And if they can only be a couple of minutes because, you know, I'm not doing particularly well the best day of the week, so be it. So be it, as long as there is something that is up and is quality and actually reflects the fact that I care. You know what I mean? I've been so angry about it. Is it anger the right word? A frustration. It's just frustration, because I'm angry. I don't think it even reflects it. It's like this exasperated feeling where it's like, I just want to do this, man. I just want to get this done. I just want to actually be able to follow through. But literally, it is just like somebody took it's like somebody took a hand mixer on my, like, right in my brain, and that's probably bad to like imagine, especially for ASMR. But when have I ever been like good in these apologize if any of my Ramble videos are ever stressful, but like, I don't know, I've been having some health issues for a while, and I'm not really even well enough to go look into them further, if that makes sense, because when I got diagnosed with fibro, here's a nice little story time for you. I'm so glad that I was employed at the company I was employed at when I knew I had fibro. I had a very strong feeling I had it, right? And we had our insurance come up for the year. And I went from like a mid-sized package. I was like, I'm gonna have to go get lab testing done for this. And I knew ahead of time because I actually have friends that already got diagnosed, but also I already had been a very big advocate for the disabled community pre my diagnosis, before I even knew. So I already was very, very aware at the absolute crap that you have to go through just to get diagnosed with anything. I already knew. So I got the highest package you can get, to the point where I think we were paying like $200 or $300 bi-weekly, every other week, I should say, for insurance for 2 people. You may say, well, that's not that bad. I still had out of pocket. There was still a deductible. That wasn't like it was a no deductible plan. So I upped our insurance to, I believe, triple what we were paying previous. And the fact that I had to do this is awful. But I upped our insurance because I knew. And I went ahead and got all the paperwork ready for FEMA, which is basically you get time off, medical leave, essentially, certain days if you know you're going to be having some kind of issue due to your illness. And I was sitting there, I'm like, I've already had to call off a bunch because of this, even though I didn't know what it was yet. I saved those days, and I got the paperwork done beforehand as much as I could without, the actual diagnosis and everything. But yeah, I did have to go through like a lot to get diagnosed. I had to go to 5 different appointments, and at first they thought I had lupus, but essentially I had to jump through like 15 freaking hoops to go to each appointment, get a bunch of blood drawn, have a bunch of exams, and finally get diagnosed with fibro. It just, honestly, the U.S., the system that we have in the United States is awful for healthcare. So I was paying so much out of pocket for all of these too, and thankfully I had put money to the side specifically because I was like, I already knew. And then I was able to get the FEMA sent in, and they only gave me like 4 days. Barely any time, which is why I eventually had to leave, because I as a person, I like being consistent. My body says no. The body kept the score, and it's not a good score. But yeah, I'm not able to be consistent with anything anymore, except for like this. I can be consistent with this because I can plan ahead of time. I just have to be better at planning. That's the only way that I've been able to like keep up with things in my daily life too. So I already know that it works. Sometimes it's even hard to like have the willpower to plan more. Does that make sense? You have to like push through, and it's just this thing where I know I have to work smarter, not harder, because I cannot work harder. But at the same time, sometimes you're just like, it's too much. Anyway, I don't want to keep rambling on. I just want to let you guys know that's kind of why everything's been a bit shorter. Video should hopefully resume pretty normal times, pretty normal. But I also, like with some of the videos, I want to say like, probably mainly the echo one, I just sat there and I was like, I'm getting out of breath, I'm not really feeling that well, and also, I feel like sometimes it's a good point to cut it a little bit early if you know that the trigger is going to start getting redundant. But I think that it was like both with that one, if I'm being honest. But I just want to let you guys know, I've just kind of not been doing the best, but I'm working on it. But I am more so just working on making sure that we're set. So if I have to sleep an entire day, you're already set on content. You have nothing to worry about, But with all of that being said, I hope you're all doing so absolutely well out there, and you stay well and you stay safe. Hope you liked this one, and I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic, wonderful, beautiful day, night, or whatever, whenever you're watching this video. I will see you all in